All right, we got a 2017 Nissan Rogue here. I'm going to be replacing these halogen headlight bulbs with some LED, some AUXITO LED. I know there's a lot of choices when it comes to LED headlights, but these are a really good brand. You won't be disappointed. So when it comes to visibility, you definitely don't want to skimp and go cheap. Now these are a 18,000 lumen. And in here we have, of course, a little manual, and you've got a little Allen wrench and some zip ties. And I'll show you in a minute what the Allen wrench is for. Basically, we're going to put it in there and we're going to see if this is going to line up vertically, because you want this, when it's setting in there, to be vertical. You don't want it to be like this or this. You want it to be straight up and down. So that's what that Allen wrench is for. We can remove this little set screw and we can actually turn this collar so we can get this oriented exactly where we need it to be. So that's what I like about this particular style. And this is like our anti-flicker portion, and this will just plug right into the existing harness there. So these are both H11. You're going to need 4 of these in total. So we're going to have 2 for our low and then 2 for the high beams. Now when you look at your original halogen bulbs, it's going to say you're going to have like an H11 and H9, but you can see here these are going to be the same. So the H8, 9, and 11 is going to be the same on the LEDs. Now what we're going to do is start over here on the driver's side. This one would be the more difficult because of the headlight here. We have to remove this little portion of the air duct just to be able to get to that easily. And we're just going to start with our little trim tool, popping these little clips up. I got a 10 millimeter. You could use a Phillips. You're gonna just kind of squeeze on these and separate that. All right, we're just gonna start with the low beam. It's the easier one here. All right, so we got our new LED. Now, you'll note that here, one of these slots is bigger than the others. Now, that's what you got to look at here. And you got to orient. So the big slot is going to be over here, like around the 10 o'clock area. So you want to just make sure, put that in that direction, and we're just going to turn it until it can't turn anymore. Just that simple. Now what we need to do is come out here and look and make sure that this is vertical. So you're just going to look from the side. Now I don't know if you can see this or not, but this is lining up vertical, so I don't have to adjust the collar on there. So now we're just going to take both of our ends here and just plug this end right, just like that. Now I think this is going to be fine right here, but you could take and zip tie this if you're worried about this flopping around. Okay, now for the high beam, we've actually got a cap that we need to remove here, and it's going to be, helps to get both hands on it. So you're just going to unscrew it like a quarter of a turn, and then that will come right off there. This one is a little more difficult to show you, but I'm just kind of reaching my hand in here and turning this counterclockwise. And I'm just going to pull out a little bit of slack here and reach in. It has the same clips, if you can see that at all. And I'm just going to squeeze both of those. So this one is quite difficult to get an angle at, but you can see the connector here and this little place it goes into up inside. So you're going to have to look to where the big slot goes so you get that oriented. Now, you don't have to worry about this will fit in here, and I'll show you that the anti-flicker and the connector will fit in this. And now again, the big slot is going to go over here at about 10 o'clock, and that is where it's located on both of them. So we want to orient it, and then we'll just give it that little bit of a turn. Until it doesn't turn anymore, and then we'll come out here and we'll check it. All right, so if you can see that in there, that is straight up and down vertical, and that's what you want. Now let's say that it was twisted just slightly to a little bit more to, like, say, the counterclockwise direction. You just twist it back just some. All right, so I've got my two ends. Just going to make this connection here. And of course, we want to make sure this is working before we go through the trouble of putting this all in here and putting the cap back on. All right, so I'm just going to carefully feed this in here. And as you can see, it fits in there fine. Now we'll get our cap. Just spin it until you get the slots to line up, and give it that little quarter of a twist, just like that. So I'm just going to go over here to the passenger side. We're just going to repeat the process, and as you can see, we don't have anything to remove. We can get down here to our high beam, no problem. So I'm going to just go ahead and get these installed. Okay, now before I put this last one in, I wanted to show you this. Now let's suppose that we put this in there and it did not line up vertically. You know, we needed to go a little bit one way or the other. So if you look right here, we got this rubber seal. What you want to do is peel that back. Take that off a second. And then you want to look around here, and you can see right in there, that is where that set screw is. So this is what you would loosen right here. Now I don't need to do that on this one because it's going to be out of alignment, but you would loosen that, and you would rotate this in the manner that you need to. So what you'd want to do, I would suggest take like a marker, figure out how much that you need to move it, make you a mark, and then bring it out here and take that loose, and then rotate that, and then put it back in and test it again. But that is how you would get that to line up. Now these are lining up vertically just perfectly in here. Now it's not always the case, but the last two sets of these I've put in, they lined up on both of those cars. So, but if you do run into that, just know that you're going to have to loosen the set screw and rotate the collar so you can get that straight up and down, because it's going to work the best when this is vertical. Now another thing I want to say, do not be touching these chips with your fingers or anything. Notice I've got gloves on just in case. You don't want any oils from your fingers, just like a halogen bulb, you wouldn't want to be touching those. Now there's a little portion under here you have to kind of line up as well. Not only are they much brighter with better visibility, but it also matches the little LED strip on the headlight assembly. Now, another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put the halogen bulbs back in the passenger side here, and we'll do just a side-by-side comparison, and then I'll get them both back in here. Okay, so here we have a view. Got the LEDs, of course, here on the driver's side. See a big difference. And here we have our brights on. Of course, this is just one side with the LED, so we'll go out here and take a look at them. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and put the other side in here now, and we'll take a look at them. All right, so here we have it on our low beams. Go ahead and put it on high. Looks like my right one may need to be adjusted up. It's a little bit lower for some reason. And we'll go out here and take a look at it, but it looks really good. All right, so you can see how great these LED AUXITO headlights perform. I'm going to leave a link to where you can get these. Please like, share, and subscribe, and thank you for watching.